Hey there, fight friends. I'm super thrilled to have this amazing treat for you right now. We are on the video call right now with Lance Gibson Jr., known as Fearless. It was just announced a few days ago that he is making his long awaited UFC debut this weekend in Las Vegas against King. I always forget his name. I have it notes.
Yeah,
King Royal. King Green, sorry, King
yeah,
Green.
yeah, yeah,
Lance, this is a long time coming, man. You must be thrilled.
yeah. Yeah. It was really surreal when I first got the news, and I'm really settling in because I know this is where I belong. So yeah, I'm thrilled, but I know this is where I'm supposed to be.
It might surprise you to know, but I've been actually chatting with your dad for quite a while now, for several years.
Yeah.
And it's I take it for granted that people watching my channel are educated about mixed martial arts, especially Canadian mixed martial arts, because that's all I talk about.
Hmm.
But they may not know, so I'll just refresh the memory. Your father, Lance Gibson Sr., is a UFC veteran. He's fought in the UFC before. His first fight in the UFC was, I think, March of year 2000, and he
Hmm.
also fought in December of 2000, so almost exactly 25 years ago.
Yeah.
That's got to be quite an amazing legacy that you've lived with your entire life, and a dream you've been chasing. So you must feel pretty great about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. Yeah. It's crazy actually when you we were talking about it actually last night, me and my dad, and we were just like, wow, this is where we were meant to be, and everything happens for a reason. And almost 25 years to the day, it's I
Mhm.
was talking in another interview, but I'd rather I'd share it here as well. We fought. Let me just confirm. Hey, how many years to the day almost was the Hawaii fight? Was that
Was it
23 or
20?
22 years? I think it was 22 years.
That might have been 20. Okay,
Okay.
22. It
Either
was
way.
five. It was 25 years. It was
Okay.
25 days because it was 97 to
Well,
2022.
okay. So my dad fought in Hawaii at Blaisdell Arena
25 years.
25 years to the day, almost to the day, like a few days off to
It was
when I fought at
December 16th.
yeah to when I fought in Hawaii at Blaisdell Arena. It was just crazy. Yeah,
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 I just heard a female voice back there. Is that Julia?
yeah. That's Julia.
Of course, Canadian MMA fans well known Julia the Jewel Bud, multi-discipline or multi-MMA world champion, absolutely fantastic fighter. It sure runs in your family, and I'd love to chat about her right now, but we're going to stick to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair.
So Lance, I'm actually going to read something to you.
Okay.
Every year on my MMA webpage, I do a New Year's resolutions where I get talk to different Canadian fighters, officials, promoters, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to read to you what your dad's New Year's resolution was for 2025.
Okay.
He said, Lance Gibson Sr., live in harmony with nature, vibrate with the frequency of abundance. My son, Lance Gibson Jr., signs a deal with the UFC with spectacular victories. My wife, Julia the Jewel Bud, fights her way to one more world title. My whole family healthy and prosperous, and allow us to use our fame and fortune to help our Indigenous communities from coast to coast in Canada.
Yep.
So he's known it for a long time. He
Yeah,
told me
yeah.
like about 6 months ago, when the whole thing with Bellator and all that was up in the air, kind of, he told me that the UFC's had their eye on you for quite some time. So it's always really interesting for me as a journalist to follow the progression of fighters and how they make their way to the UFC. Because of course there's several routes. You can do the Contender Series, or maybe you can go on the Ultimate Fighter. But sometimes, like it happened with Melissa Croden, and now it's happening with you, where you're brought in. So
Hmm.
how long were those discussions, and how that ultimately happened that you got brought into the UFC fold?
Well, it's not a simple task as much as many people think. As I thought too at the beginning, where it's just like, oh, just sign me, and that's not the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that goes into it, and I was willing to do everything that it took to get there. And since I left Bellator, we'd been in contact, both my manager as well as my dad, with Sean Shelby, and there were so many opportunities that were really close, but not all the way through. So uh, it's been a roller coaster ride, and or way I've been riding the waves, and
Mm-hmm.
now we hit the big one.
Is it pretty much just a case of being told that you're gonna be a last minute replacement, so you're always sort of ready for it? Is that what happened?
Uh, that's how you have to kind of think about it. Yeah, you have to be mentally and physically prepared, pretty much year round, to be able
Mm-hmm.
to take an opportunity so that you can, if you do get called, you can do that. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, uh, I was born a dual citizen. My dad's Canadian, my mom's American, so that really helped me in being able to take that short notice of a fight, because I have I didn't. There's no visas and everything that needed to happen, so
Mhm.
that really allowed me to secure this spot.
Tell us about King Green and your thoughts on him. He's got 50 fights under his belt, which is pretty impressive. That's like
Hmm.
Joe Dirksen levels, and he's got almost 30 fights in the UFC itself.
Yeah.
So, does that experience daunt you at all?
Not really. I've been literally around the sport for my entire life. So, I mean, my dad, other than my dad fighting in the UFC, he coached Rampage Jackson to against Lyoto Machida when Lyoto Machida was unbeatable practically.
Mhm.
He coached him to that victory. He coached him against Matt Hamill. I believe Ryan Bader. Was it who was it? Matt Hamill, Ryan Bader, Machida, and Rashad. And my dad coached. So I've been around, like, not Bader. Oh, sorry. That was wrong. Uh, false facts. Sorry, that was my bad. But Hamill. Either way, I've been around this for a long time, and
But you got brought down
fighting a veteran doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah, yeah.
15. You were down in the camp.
Tell me what it's like spending all this time with what I'm guessing is a lot of uncertainty, right? Like a lot of fighters get told that the UFC is looking at them, they're talking to you, you know you're on their radar, but they're not calling. You know it's going to come at some point. How difficult is it as an athlete to stay disciplined and keep your training, maintain the levels you need to stay in order to be ready for a big fight like this?
It's incredibly difficult. I think one of the biggest challenges, I think, this is going to be me speaking in general for most MMA fighters, is we're in a sport that is all competition. Obviously, most sports are competition, but uh, I think people begin to focus on others more than they focus on themselves during
Mm-hmm.
that time, where you're being told that you're on the list, and then there's another guy on the list, and there's another, and you're just like, you're so focused on all these other guys that you're not doing what you need to do to get there. So during this time, this 2 years that I've been fighting to make it here, I really focused on me and being happy. Everybody's journey is different, and everybody has their own journey because that's their own journey, And my journey can't be your journey,
Mm-hmm.
But uh, really, actually honing in and focusing in on what you need to do to get there is the most important, and not focusing on what other people are doing.
Yeah, that's very true words. I mean, I talked to a lot of combat athletes, and they don't all say the same thing, but the ones with some experience under the belt, whether it's experience from themselves or through their group, like their coaches and stuff. And clearly, you've got your dad and Julia; they've been through all this before.
Yeah.
What are some? I'm sure they've given you more bits of advice than you could remember in 100 years. But is there anything in particular that stood out? They've told you that you need to be ready for this weekend for your big UFC promotional debut.
Um, well, I got actually it's not from them, but they reminded me last night of, so I fight in Washington a lot, and Demetrius Johnson was in the crowd at one of my fights for my amateur title that I fought. I think I was probably, I don't know how old I was, 19 or something like that. 18. I was 18 at the time. I was 18 at the time, and I was fighting for my title. And I had asked him, like, what does he think? Like, this is my second title defense. Like, what do I need to do? Like, how do I handle this pressure? And he was just like, well, it wouldn't matter. You care when you fight a normal fight, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, why would it be any different? There's just all this extra stuff is just an illusion. So go out there and just, it's a just another fight, but go out there and take your victory like you want to on a normal fight. So being able to be in this moment with the illusion of a ton of pressure, uh, all I need to do is just take it as another fight and enjoy and embrace the moment and go out and walk to victory.
It's really cool that you said those words right now because I was going to bring something up later on, but I guess I'll advance that a little bit now. I talked to a lot of Canadian UFC fighters, pretty much all of them, and I talked with them after the UFC debuts, and to a person, what they all told me, what they regret they didn't do during their UFC debut was to stop, pause, take a look around among all the chaos and the hectic, and just soak it in and appreciate it. Like it's almost like a blur. Like they didn't remember anything after that day. So you
Yeah.
just said right there, you're already present in the moment. You're absorbing all this, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I truly believe that is our only control. Uh, in life, we try to relive our past and then control the future. And all we have control over is the present moment. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I think in order to be a successful, any of the most successful athletes in the entire world, and no matter what sport it is, they are present in the moment. And that's what allows them to execute their abilities and achieve what they want.
Speaking of being in the moment, what's your moment like right this second? I think you were just talking to the UFC before you were talking to me.
Yeah.
What are the days leading up to an event like this look like?
For me, it was a little different than than normal. Obviously, being very very short notice.
He's visiting hospitals.
I've been at a lot of hospitals,
Yeah,
a lot of different labs, and getting blood work, MRAs, MRIs, the whole 9 yards. Kind of running around, but one thing I can say is the UFC is incredible, and at the way they handle everything. It's like I get in and they're like, oh, straight to your blood, and it's like everything's handled for me.
mm-hmm.
There was like where if you were dealing with it yourself, it would be so overwhelming. I mean, I was up at 5 a.m. I was on an early flight, got there. They made my day so easy that something that was extremely overwhelming was like it was just like nothing. And then I mean, I did my media, I did everything, and then now amongst cutting weight, and now today is just like a bit of cutting weight and
Yeah,
doing that descent.
that's fantastic. It's must be such a big relief having all that weight off your shoulder because this is a monumentous occasion for you. What was the timeline? It's where right now it's Thursday evening in Ontario here, and it's a Thursday afternoon where you are in Vegas. What was the timeline for this fight? How did it lead up?
I literally found out Monday night about the possibility, so that was probably like a 50% chance. At 60% chance, they were like,
Mm-hmm.
pack your bags. I was eating a steak dinner. Uh, I had I told the other interviewers I had Jamaican patties. They had baked in the oven. They were like fresh. They were so
Like
flaky. They
roadies.
were. It's one of my favorite foods on the planet. And I think just everything happens for a reason. I got too full. Like, and I didn't. I mean, I the steak I had was pretty big, but I was I was just really full, and I was like, I'll save it. 1 second later, my dad calls Julia and is like, pack your bags. We could be leaving tomorrow.
And
And
stop
I'm
eating.
like, good thing I didn't eat that. And I'm going
Yeah,
to throw up everything I just ate. Like,
yeah.
um, so the next day, Tuesday, was around 2 p.m. was when we were confirmed and got the bout agreement, got the contract, and flew out Wednesday. And then,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Well, that just shows you. I think it used to be years ago that a lot of athletes, fighters, and other athletes, they would have their on seasons and off seasons, right? So you're not competing, you don't lose a fight. That's when you bulk up and you gain a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
weight and you sort of take it easy. But for you, just being ready, man, ready to accept this opportunity, I'm a firm believer that people in life, if you want to grab the opportunities that come your way, you need to be ready for it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've made yourself ready. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
Okay, Lance, I'm not going to keep you any longer because I know it's a super crazy day for you. Once
Yeah.
again, thank you very much. The floor is yours. Or is there anything you'd like to say? Anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd just like to thank my team at Gibson MMA, all my training partners, uh, my manager, Danny Rubenstein, at Ruby Sports, my dad, Julia, uh, all my coaches that have kind of helped me lead me to this way. I lead me to this day, obviously, and getting to the UFC. Um, my sponsor, Angelo at Apollo Sheet Metal. Um, my family. I'm just so grateful for the that this actually happened. You know, it is still a little bit surreal that that it actually happened and happened the way it did on the last card of the year. I was like, oh, it's a wash. Okay, I got to get back in there, get a couple more wins, and but here we are.
Well, Lance, I'm sure we'll get a chance to speak again in the future. And
Hmm.
on behalf of all Canadian fight fans, we wish you the best of luck. We know you're going to kick some ass in there. Enjoy the experience. We're super happy for you, and thanks for everything.
Thank you for the support as well.